Okay, hi there guys. I said that I'm gonna start work on a game and I started yesterday actually, and the thing I was able to do is the map. Okay, so as I said before, this game is gonna be a platforming game, and I'm gonna just show you what I've done here. So as you can see here, you have this set of bricks that are scrolling. Now, the idea behind this is that I want to define a big map, maybe 4 or 5 times as big as the screen, and I want to scroll that move in that map without any problem. So basically right now this window is scrolling. If you can see here, you can see that it's being scrolled little by little. Um, and right now it doesn't seem like much, but this is the basic functionality needed, and later on we can add more to that. Anyway, so let me show you the code and what have I done here, and I will post the code also on the website if you'd like to see what I am doing, so you can see the progress step by step. Okay, so okay, where should I start? So here we have I have created these two modules. The first one is called General Operations, which has the basic operations needed for the game to run, and the map. The map has all the methods and all the methods that are needed to render the map into the screen. So let me go to basic operation, explain what's going on there. Okay, so here you need to define a setup object. This will initialize the library. Okay, and next you define the width of your display and the height of your display. The reason I made it like this because it will allow me to later on modify the resolution. Okay, so if you have a smaller monitor, a small resolution or wider, you can change that. So I'm gonna make this 100 by maybe 100, so this is gonna be pretty small. So if you want to see that right now, you can see that it's very small, it's scrolling, but it's working fine. So let me end that now. And okay, maybe okay, it still have a few bugs, but I'll fix these. So I'm gonna make this now 500 by 100, and if you run that, you can see, you know, so right now you can see that it is working perfectly fine. It's scrolling and moving without any problem. Okay, now, so this is the first thing. So maybe 800 by 600 here. Anyway, so these are the resolutions of the display. Later on we'll make it full screen and see how this goes. Okay, the game window is the window we are going to display the game in. So this is the game window. Let me show it to you. When you press this, you see this window that appears. This is the game window actually. Okay, so we want to we want to define this game window object. Okay, so next we have the map actual width and the map actual height, and these are needed to define how many pixels does the map have. The way I am storing the map, it's a two-dimensional array. Each number represents a block type. So maybe there is an empty block, maybe there's a brick block or something like that. And each block has is a 16 by 16 pixel image. So what I am doing here, I'm just I'm just defining the map here. Sorry, I am defining or I am gonna store the actual width in pixels for that map. Now, mid display X and mid display Y, this is telling me where is exactly the middle of the display for the X and Y axis. Now, the IX and IY will tell me which location within the map I am looking at Okay, so maybe I'm looking at this corner, maybe I'm looking maybe down here. So by changing these I can change my location within the map. Maybe I can associate later on in the game, maybe I can associate IX and IY with the coordinates of the character, and the map will move with the character. Okay, so these are the most important variables for now, and the more will be defined later. Okay, next we have this one, perform the setup or INI operation. So here we are defining, we are creating the setup object, initializing, and if there's an error we are gonna return a false flag, otherwise we return true flag. Okay, next is initializing the game window. Same technique, if any error happens we are gonna capture that return false. Okay, maybe we should write a debug confirmation, but for now I don't care about that. Okay, now let's go to the most important part of the game, which is the rendering loop. So here we are preparing a few variables here. We have TMP width, which is the width of the screen for now, and TMP height, and I'm gonna compute the actual map width and the actual map height. And here I am getting the array that stores the information of the map, multiply the number of elements by 16, because each block is 16 by 16. Same goes here to get the height. And next I'm going to see where the middle of the display is, and now I'm gonna do this, check if the whole map fits into the display. Maybe the map is very small that it can fit inside the display area, so in that case I'm gonna check that and adjust TMP width and TMP height accordingly. Okay, that's it, and now the loop starts, and the loop is very small, as you can see. Here I'm calling do events in order to give the CPU a few cycles to do other stuff, and maybe I can stop this if I would like to. Anyway, I'll call begin frame, which initialize the rendering. I'm gonna clear the display. I'm gonna call render map. We're gonna have a look at that in a minute, and then I will end the rendering and call keep alive. That's it. Nothing wrong. Let me save that, and now let's go to the map module. This is the map module, and it's a little bit bigger, but it's not difficult. I'm gonna explain this very straightforward. So here I'm gonna define the block type. So here we have empty block, and we have brick block. Each one of these blocks is actually a BMP image. So if you go here, go into bin debug images, you can see the I'm gonna double click each one of them. This is the empty block. So if you come here, you can see it's a black block. Okay, there is nothing there. Maybe I want to fill this with maybe cyan to make it look like the sky, if you'd like to. Maybe I'm gonna change that now, and sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna run that and hit test. You can see now, oh, I don't know, this seems a little bit out of place. Maybe the bricks it's not very well rendered here. Anyway, maybe I need to take something, I don't know. What's the color of the sky? What's the best color here? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna take the brick here. I'm gonna show it to you here. There's the brick. I'm going to choose this color for the bricks. Okay, this is a BMP. Put these here. Save that and run the code. Or maybe I need to take something black and just click here. Okay, that's it. So you can see this is how it's gonna the shape of the brick. I'm gonna run this. Let's see how it goes, just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. Here I am filling this randomly. So I'll work on this later. But for now, you get the basic idea here. This is the brick and the sky. Oh gosh. Yeah, maybe it should be less of not that bright, probably. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna use this. I guess it's contrasting a lot. Yeah. So whatever, you know, this is the basic idea. We're gonna change this maybe more than one time. Okay, um, so close this now. Now, so if we go back to our code, here we are defining codes for each type of these blocks. So the empty block is 0, a brick block is 1. And here we are defining the game map. This is two-dimensional array. It's of type map block type. Okay. Here we are defining also a number of shapes. So here empty block shape, it's actually a surface, and what a surface is, it's like a bitmap, a bitmap that the GPU will use in order to, for example, draw or do some operation on. Same goes for brick block shape, same technique. Okay, so now let's go to create brick shapes. Okay, so here we are loading the information. All you have to do, you call this function, define this one to equal new surface, and here I'm going to say application startup path and images, etc. So here I am specifying the image of the block. Okay, so for the first one, which is empty block, here I'm specifying the empty block BMP, and the second one, a brick block shape, I'm specifying the brick block BMP. Okay, so we're finished with creating block shapes. Let's go to the next one. This one is not needed, but I did that for testing purpose. And here what's happening, we are generating a random map. So all I am doing here, I am defining the I'm passing width and height, and then calling this function, and this will here we are creating a two-dimensional array with the required width and height, and next we are going to generate random number, and I'm gonna fill the map with random blocks. So you don't do that in a game. You define the map previously, store that on disk, and later on load the map from disk. Anyway, let's go to the next one, which is render map. Okay, and here if you go to the rendering loop of the general operations, you'll see that we're calling render map. So in maps here, what's happening is that we are going to render the map. The map could be very large. We need only to render portion of it that we are interested in, or that the user is watching on screen. So right now here we are defining view XY, view x1, x2, view y1, y2, etc. So here view x1 equal ix minus mid display and iy. So basically this one represents the center of ix and iy. X represent the center of the display, where you are looking at, and so basically I'm gonna sorry about that. Okay, sorry for the interrupt, phone call. Anyway, so let's go back to render map. Render map basically works on rendering or displaying the map, and as I said before, we are interested in displaying part of that map to the screen. So basically what's happening here, we must identify from which pixel we are starting to draw to which pixel. Okay, so for example, if our image is 1000 pixel in width, we must know that maybe we need to display only 800 of these if our display is 800. So here I'm using view x1 and view x2 to identify the location of the pixels we are trying to see here. Now the problem happens if I want to see at the very beginning of the map. Okay, so I will have view x1 either smaller than 0 or a negative value, or greater than the dimension of the map. So here I'm doing a number of checks. The first check is that I want to see if I want to see if it's within the boundaries. If so, then there is no need to do a shift. Otherwise, I'm gonna update the x1 and accordingly update x2. Okay, and in case that the dimension of the map is smaller than the screen, I'm gonna compute the shift value. Okay, same thing goes to the y dimensions. Okay, it's not that difficult. It might look a little bit complicated, but it's not. You just think about it for a while and if you'll see it's easy. After you finish that, here comes the tricky part, which is rendering the map. So basically I'm defining these. The previous code here found the dimensions, the values to be displayed in pixels, where we have the information in the map stored in the blocks, and each block is 16 by 16. So what am I gonna do here? I'll have to map these. So SMX1 here is the execute divided by 16, and you want to use the div, not the floating point division. Same goes for SMX2 and the Y. Now SMXX and SMYY will help you perform small shifts in the image so that you can find pixel by pixel where the object should be placed. Okay, because as I said before, if you omit these, you will find that the map will jump block by block, which is something you don't want to happen. You want it to appear smoothly. Anyway, after you do that, we are gonna loop on the map, and here from this block to this block, from and the x-axis from this block to this block and the y-axis, and I'm gonna check if it is an empty block. Use the empty block shape and draw it at this location. So here SMXX for the small, let's say small shift, followed by view shift if it's smaller than screen, and the block location multiplied by 16. Same goes for the y. Okay, so that's it. This is the code for rendering the map, and again I'm gonna show it to you here. Okay, so the map is being rendered. There's not much code behind that. Okay, now there are a number of things you might be interested in. You have to add a number of references. So here we have a gate drawing, and this is needed in order to render the screen. It's like the driver that will allow you to render everything, and this is a software driver, and because of that it's a little bit slow. If you look at the map here, check out the speed here, and it is a little bit slow, as you can see. Now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna increase that. Instead of using this, I'm gonna use DirectX, and to do that, right click, select add reference, and search for MDX. Okay, and press OK. I will not run this one because it will not allow me. I'm gonna say build the solution, and I will go to the exe folder and just double click that. Check this out. You can see now it's moving much smoother than before. Okay, this is because now this one is hardware accelerated, unlike the previous one. Okay, and oh, sorry, maybe I need to stop this now. Maybe press end. Does it work? It doesn't work. I'll have to fix that later on, but okay, where is it? And by the way, I called the game Geek Fight. Maybe I'm gonna change that later on, no problem. But that, put this one here, and well, I'm gonna increase the speed here. I'm gonna make this by 2 and by 2, something like that. I'm gonna build it. The reason I can't run this code using DirectX driver here, so this is one of the problems, but that's okay. You can see now it's moving a little bit faster. Okay, hopefully you'll not get dizzy because of that. Anyway, so right now the map is working perfectly fine. We are going to update the map over time, and yeah, so end the process, yes. Okay, now if you want to run this code from within Visual Studio and try run test, you will get this error. Okay, So you can't do anything. So actually there's a workaround, but I am too lazy to do that workaround. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna remove this reference agate mdx. I'm gonna remove this reference, so this means I'm gonna use the software rendering here, and if I run the code and test it here, you can see that it's moving very slow. Okay, anyway, so you got the idea. The next step, I'm gonna start working on the physics of this world, what should happen to the person or the character, and yeah, I'll work on the physics of that and see what happens. Okay. So I will also try to post the code into the website. If you're interested, you can check the code and download it from there. Okay, that will be all. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.